Welcome back, guys. So we're still in it, Mike. Ben, welcome back.
Hey.
I thought yesterday was the last day, but we're back for another analysis of the NBA Finals. How's it going, guys?
Doing
I'm
good,
doing good,
good.
man.
Happy to
Doing
be here.
good.
That's great. Ben is back. Mike is back. We're gonna have a great show, good fun show. Yeah, man, guys. How was it? How did you guys find the game yesterday? Was it like the best game of the final so far?
I think so. I want to hear Mike's thought because I wasn't on Twitter last night. I specifically watched the game without Twitter last night, so I want to hear your thought.
I wasn't tweeting last night because I was at work, unfortunately. But from what I saw, like the last three games have been incredibly like great stuff, man. And
Yep.
that's unfortunately one of the reasons why everybody thought the Heat were gonna get swept was because the first two games of the series were so bad. And like it's just been exciting ever since then. Like, you know, they've adjusted very well. Jimmy Butler's been playing excellent basketball.
So good.
And yeah, like well, I'm just excited.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I thought the Boston Toronto series was the best playoff series in the playoffs, like in terms of like quality of basketball, quality of coaching, quality of like decision making. But the last 2 or 3 games have been really, really awesome, and it helps to have like Bam Adebayo back, and you can only wonder how much more competitive the series would have been had Miami have like a shot maker in Dragic.
For sure.
But it should be interesting. I mean, I really enjoyed it. It's the type of game where you're watching and you don't know what's gonna happen. Miami was up by 9. Lakers came back, and then when the Lakers come back, you think they're gonna win. But what a tough team! I don't think they're gonna win. But this Miami team deserves so much respect.
And since we're talking about the Miami Heat and respect Jimmy Butler, everyone else like Duncan Robinson stepping up yesterday with 26 points. What's keeping them in this playoff so far? Like Mike was saying that they switched up to the zone for man-to-man. They did a lot of adjustment. Jimmy Butler showed up, but what's really keeping them? Because this Lakers team is really good.
I mean, you're right. So there's like a couple things, right? The zone didn't work clearly, and it makes sense because you have like 2 elite players on the other side. I think what's keeping them are the heroics of Jimmy Butler, but then we have to start talking about Duncan Robinson as a Steph / Klay Thompson level shooter. I mean, if you look at the numbers, it's kind of like incredible.
For sure.
He's like literally making like 43% of his shots on like 6, 7, 8, 9 attempts. In the playoffs, he's been taking like 10 3-pointers and maintaining his efficiency. I mean, he's not a great defender, and he's clearly outmatched defensively. And you can see it like in the last possession, like LeBron clearly hunts him like in every possession. But if this dude can take 14 3-pointer, and if he makes 7 of them, and I think he made like 6 of them last night, you're going to have a shot to win. I think it's kind of unfortunate that Tyler Hero, who's a good player, I think he's going to be a great player in the league, kind of leveled off. Because if you had like, I called it the Vanilla Brothers, if you had the Vanilla Brothers like operating like at peak efficiency, and if they're giving you like 10 3-pointers, and if you have Jimmy playing the way he is, you have a shot. Like, they're not the favorites, but I think it has to be like Duncan Robinson making those threes, and he's been really good over the last couple of games.
Yeah, I believe he shot 7 3-pointers yesterday and shot at 53% on the 3-point percentage. And Mike, what do you think? Like, what's keeping the Heat in this?
Yeah, it's one part Jimmy Butler being excellent, and you know what Ben just alluded to as well, Duncan Robinson just coming off big. I think last time we spoke, like, you know, on our last show when we spoke about it, I said that for them to win, Jimmy Butler, whenever he attacks, he has to attack with intent to score. And a lot of times, like, it's just like, you know, anybody could have seen it. Like, you know, you don't even have to be a basketball expert. When he was driving, like 70% of the time he's just looking to kick out. And like, if somebody that doesn't take as many threes in the series and they're not guarding him behind the arc and he's able to still get to his spots, like drive, you're gonna get the foul, or you're gonna get to your spots for good shots, and like, just look to do that. And yeah, I agree with Ben as well. Like, um Tyler Hero has leveled off, and that was another one of the key points that I made last pod was for them to win, he has to play good all four quarters and not just one quarter. And I don't know how he looked last game, but he didn't shoot terribly. So like I guess that's a good thing. Like I think he ended up with 12 points or something like
12
that.
points. Yes.
Yeah. So it's okay. Duncan Robinson scored 26 points, which helped them a lot. But for them to win the next game in Game 6 again, I think Tyler Hero will have to score at least 18 points or like close to 20 for them to still be in the game. Yeah, so I think the adjustments, Bam coming back in the series, like those are the factors that are able to help them come back in the series and compete with the Lakers.
Perfect.
If I can add something real quick, Richie,
Yep.
if they're gonna win, if they're gonna win Game 6 and Game 7, and to be clear, I know I'm gonna spoil my response to your question. I don't think they're gonna win, but if they're gonna win, they need 12 to 15 threes from Duncan Robinson and Tyler Hero. Now that doesn't mean that like each of them needs to make like 7, right? One of them could go 10, which by the way would be a playoff record to make 10 3-pointers. But that's what they need, and they need both of them operating at a level where they can make 12 3-pointers. Like one of them can make 8, one of them can make 4. It could be 6-6, right? And they just need Tyler Hero right now. And it might be too much to ask. He's a rookie. He's not expected to do this much. But I saw Tyler Hero score 34 points against the Boston Celtics, and he is a shot maker.
Yes.
And man, he was saying he is a bucket. He was yelling, "I'm a bucket." Man, if you're a bucket, we need you right now.
You gotta show up. And that's the other thing too. That's where Jay Crowder played a slightly better game this time around. But I told Richie last time, Jay Crowder has to make more of his shots to alleviate some of that pressure off of Duncan Robinson and the rookie Tyler Hero.
Yeah.
Ideally, you should get 16 threes from all three. Ideally,
Yeah.
combine 16 3 for all.
Especially
three.
when Jimmy was gassed up at the fourth quarter. This is where you need Tyler Hero to do a couple plays. But one thing is kind of like going over the internet is like, remember the last play of LeBron James, he gave it back to Danny Green. Danny Green missed. Do you guys believe that LeBron James should have still take that shot? He had 3 guys on him. What's your thought on that? Responses from everyone around the internet right now.
I'll let Mike go first.
Look, I mean, I've said this before. Like, I've softened my stance on, my LeBron James hate over the years. It came back a little bit throughout the series, especially like with him, bitching and moaning so much with the refs, and with certain soft fouls that Jay Crowder is doing on him, and he's acting like they're like the most blatant, flagrant fouls ever. Like, it's very annoying. But look, he made the right basketball play. Danny Green was as open as anybody could ever be in any game, period. Like in a pickup game, like at that. Like so he made the right basketball play. But look, in that situation, like, you have it going, you're in rhythm, like, you've been trading buckets after buckets with Jimmy Butler. You called the ISO play. I'm letting the shot clock run down, and I'm taking that last shot, man. Like, I think even Damian Lillard was tweeting with somebody on Twitter, and he said, like, he's I'm shooting that bitch over 2 people. like it doesn't matter. So in that position, he made the right basketball play, I guess you could say, but you're LeBron James. You have to take that shot.
What's your thought on that, Ben?
I think I mostly agree with that take, right? Like, you want the second best player of all time to take that shot. He was shooting 15. He shot 15 for 21 in this game, so he had really, really good efficiency. LeBron James had a great game last night. He had 40, 13, and 7.
All-time great game.
I will say one thing, and I mostly agree with this take. You want your best player to take the last shot. He had Duncan Robinson. At the very least, if you go to the basket, at the very least, you have to think he's going to get fouled, which Jimmy got fouled the previous play. So you have to think that the referee's gonna blow the whistle his way. With that said, I do think that that's the reason why you bring Danny Green to your team. He is a playoff performer. He is an NBA champion. He won the title twice, and he was really good with the Spurs. He wasn't so great with Toronto last year. But the reason why you bring Danny Green, a player like Danny Green, and the reason why you pay a player like Danny Green is because you think he can make those shots. And I've seen him make big playoff threes for the Spurs. And honestly, he was so open. I think he deserves all the slander in the world. I mean, I understand. I understand. I think wanting LeBron to take that final shot is probably the correct take. I mean, Damian Lillard said it, and he's in the league. Mike, you just said it. I think it's probably the correct take, but man, Danny Green, you gotta make that shot. Like, it's not just open, right? It's not just open. It's like, what?
It's not contested. It wasn't even contested.
And for your viewers and the listeners, like, NBA players, they make those open shots. Like, even JaVale McGee can make that open shot.
Dwight, even Dwight.
Exactly. Non-games. NBA players, they drain that shot. And he's a three-point specialist. That's what he's here for. I mean, he's no longer a three-point specialist, but that's what he's known for.
Yeah, it's not an angle shot. It's not a corner. Even like, it's not a corner where, like
perfect shot.
It's a top of the key shot. Like one of the easiest shots that you could probably make. By the way. Yep.
Like the timing was perfect. Like LeBron threw it. He drew them just enough that even if Duncan or Jimmy wanted to recover, there's no recovering that shot. He was wide open.
Yeah.
Man, tough
loss. Before I end the show, guys, I have a surprise question for you guys. But before this, a quickly prediction for Game 6. Who's gonna win?
I think the Lakers are gonna win.
What about you, Mike?
I think the Lakers close this out tomorrow. I'll be very happy if it goes to Game 7.
Game 7, more basketball.
You could see Jimmy Butler, man. Like the guy, Spo shortened his rotation to 7 men. Like, he played 47 minutes, rested 48 seconds throughout the entire game, guarding LeBron James, scoring, handling the ball, all that, man. Like, if he could do it again, bro, like, we got to start talking. We got to put so much more respect on Jimmy Butler's name.
Here's something about Jimmy. Jimmy Butler, this entire postseason, and specifically the finals, is an example of this cliche saying that you want a player who's a winner. Jimmy Butler is a winner, and I don't care that he hasn't won. I don't care that he's not an MVP. I don't care that he hasn't won like an All-Star MVP. This dude is a winner, contrary to like playoff P, contrary to even a player like seriously, contrary to even like a player like Anthony Davis, who's been great, by the way. This dude is a winner, and what he's doing right now, he's averaging 29 points, 9 rebounds, 8 assists. He's guarding LeBron James on the other side. It's incredible. I want Jimmy Butler in my team. And the last thing that I'll say about Jimmy Butler, he is the exemplification that you need players who can generate offense out of nothing. Giannis Antetokounmpo is a great player. Yeah. He can't do that yet. He just can't do it. No. At some point, you need a player who can say, I am going to call a pick, pull up, or get a foul. Giannis just can't do it yet.
Or I'm going to hunt your worst defender and go to work.
Exactly.
It's a business trip for Jimmy. Yeah. So, guys, both of you guys are going to play GM before I end the show. 30 seconds each. Your team is up on the draft, and you have 2 players you can draft. You have Zion Williamson or Micheal Porter Jr. 30 seconds on who you are picking. I'm going with Ben first. I'm going to let you know when the clock is going, and it's going now.
Picking Micheal Porter Jr. I love Zion Williamson. I was electrified by him when he was at Duke. I literally tuned in for all of his games. I think he's amazing. I think Zion is too big. I think the body fat is way too strong to my taste. I don't think he's going to last in the league. He's still electrifying. He doesn't play defense. Micheal Porter Jr. doesn't play defense though. If there's one thing we learned about this playoff, this league is about wings who can make shots. Give me the wing who can make shot.
All right. You're good. Mike, you ready? I'm gonna let you know when it's going. Going now.
I'm picking Zion Williamson, man. Like we've never seen a a player of this stature. Like, you know, he's super athletic. I think he's going to work on his body and he's going to develop his shot. Unfortunately, he may turn out to be like Blake Griffin, and when he's 30, he's done. But for now, like, if you could build around, like, Blake Griffin had some runs in the playoffs, I'm picking Zion.
All right. That's good. Thank you, GM.
Zion is gonna play 10 years from now.
I mean, look at it, man. He could be done at 32, but I'll have a good run. I'll have a good 10 years.
To be clear, I think Zion Williamson is better right now. I would just roll the dice in the wing. I love Zion Williamson. Love him, but I don't know, man. I don't think he's going to be playing past 28. And he doesn't play defense, so I don't know.
That's a hot take over here.
I don't know,
guys. We'll see. Because Micheal Porter he's an amazing player. We're going to see what's going on in the future. Guys, I appreciated your time for the analysis and everything. Appreciate it. Any last words?
Ben, so good to see you, brother.
Thanks for having me, guys. I'm looking
Thank you,
forward
guys.
Hopefully for Game 7, although we don't.
Facts.
Hopefully, we never know.
Yeah, right.
All right. Peace, guys. Thank you.
Ciao, guys.
Bye.